Ciao ragazzi, I am Enrico Pantaloni and I am coming to you today to announce the big news from my good friend SonicFlare coming. But first, I won the Giro d'Italia in 1967, 68, 69, 70 I did not because Mama forgot to put the air in tire, eh? Comme ci, comme ça, what are you going to do, eh? Now to our back regularly scheduled program. I don't know who that was, but get him off this channel. Hey guys, what's up? Danny K here, SonicFlare. Thanks for tuning in today. It is Sunday, and do we have some new records and new zip stuff for you? We'll get to that zip stuff in a bit. First up, I've posted this on my Instagram handle. If you aren't following me on Instagram, please consider to do so, as well as on this channel. It makes for better algorithms, etc., with YouTube recommendations. And of course, it will allow me to do much more videos in the future with many more things planned and discussed and so on and so forth. So please consider subscribing. Thank you so much. First up, as I mentioned, I've announced this on Instagram a couple of weeks ago. There is a label that probably many of you are not familiar with, which is from England, the UK, Wallenbink. I'll leave a link down in the description below, of course, as per usual, so you guys can check it out, click to it, and see what it's all about. Frank, the proprietor of Wallenbank, has taken upon himself to kind of reissue things that no one else really has touched. The first LP that he did was actually a double LP set from Duke Pearson. And it was never really reissued as a record. He underwent the whole analog mastering, etc., pressing, plating, all that. Did a phenomenal job. I want to say this came out probably about 2 years ago at this point, maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago, I think. Long enough, I followed him. I actually chatted with him a couple of times via email. A phenomenal jazz collector of obviously Blue Notes and many other labels and genres. And the latest project he did, which actually just came out about a month ago, is a 10-disc set of 7-inch, 45 RPM singles that he licensed as a one-time deal from the MPS label, which owns the rights to SABA recordings and, of course, the MPS recordings. And there are these absolutely gorgeously pressed, printed on premium paper, obviously not tip-on jackets. At least I don't think they are. No, they're not tip-on jackets. I mean, I don't know that you can do that for 7-inch records. But let me tell you something. Each one absolutely phenomenally done. Super premium quality print paper. They come in these little plastic sleeves, of course, with the hype sticker on them. And this particular one is from SABA. It's a Nathan Davis reissue. Never been reissued before and never gonna be reissued again. The 10 set is 105 pounds or so. With shipping, it comes to like 125, 130 international. But I mean, just look at this. Absolutely gorgeous, beautiful, pressed at Palace, all analog mastering. And all you need is obviously a little 7-inch adapter, but you can get those just about anywhere. And, flat profile, unbelievable, completely analog, nothing digital in the chain, just a phenomenal job. And I tell you, I've listened to every one of them. The Roland Kovacs Orchestra. You've got Baden Powell here. There's Mark Murphy, Enzo Donato. Absolutely stunning stuff. And then, of course, when you switch over to the MPS side of the things, George Duke. Man, let me tell you, killer. Absolutely killer. Monty Alexander. I mean, let me tell you, put this on, you're going to be like, wow, I've never ever heard a 7-inch 45 RPM single sound this good. This is really, truly no different than any of the big boys reissues on 12-inch vinyl. I strongly encourage you to get these while they're still available. Dave Pike set. absolutely phenomenal, right? And then another Nathan Davis. Nathan Davis is such an underrated star of the jazz scene. It's really a shame that he didn't get the kudos that he deserves. But guys, seriously, and ladies, phenomenal stuff. Check them out. Wallenbink, phenomenal work. I'm not overhyping this. When you get this, you're going to be like, dude, this is insane. All analog, AAA, pressed at Palace in Germany. One of the best pressing plants. Phenomenal stuff, right? So check this out. It's really, really good. It's incredible music, and Frank did a phenomenal job with this. Next up, we've got a Kevin Gray remaster, Grant Green, 1970s album. I just picked this up yesterday. I was actually with The Waxed at doing a couple of record stores in Pasadena. That's here in the, it's a suburb of Los Angeles for my international viewers. A couple of record stores, and picked this up amongst many other things. And phenomenal reissue, another Kevin Gray masterful remaster. There you go. And so I highly recommend you pick this up. It's from their Blue Note, the entry level label. I forgot what they call it. $22 or $21.99. Absolutely stunning. Go get it. Really good. Then, of course, the one that so many people have been asking me about and so many people have been waiting for. In fact, I think there was like even a countdown timer on their website. The new Billie Eilish record, 2 LP set. And of course, I have the indie exclusive version, which is printed on a lovely poo-poo vinyl. So my dog Porter and Chloe got together. I'm just kidding. It is poo-poo vinyl, though, because it's kind of brownish, and I really don't know why she picked this color, other than the fact that, you know, it kind of matches the mood of the record, maybe, as well as the backdrop of her incredible, awesome cover photograph. Very sort of melancholic music. You probably want to commit suicide after listening to it. Don't, but, I'm just saying, her music to me is a little, I can take her in doses. I got this because, believe it or not, it sounds unbelievable, right? They did such a phenomenal job recording this that you play this on any full range system, and let me tell you something, you're going to feel bass and dynamics. They did a phenomenal job with this record. So, kudos to Billie Eilish. There's some amazing cuts on here that you guys have to check out that really highlight any high-end or hi-fi system that you have. It takes it to the next level, right? Next up, found this on Record Store Day. Well, actually not on Record Store Day, but I found this as a Record Store Day reissue in another record store, not Fingerprints, unfortunately. This is the Bobbie Gentry reissue that came out. I know her more for her sort of twangy, country-ish stuff. She did a record with Glen Campbell. And, this is really outside of that genre, so to speak. It's all jazz classics, phenomenal recording, incredible reissue, dead quiet vinyl. It's available. I've checked it online on eBay. You can get this for, like $22, $23, $25. I mean, fortunately, it's not one of those RSD reissues that kind of went up 6 times the price, 10 times the price. But this is absolutely a stunning Bobbie Gentry record. Soulful, tuneful, minimalist, piano, bass, and obviously Bobbie. Great singing. Totally underrated album. I don't believe it's actually ever been reissued or issued, period. And so, must have, pick this up. Great stuff. Another Record Store Day issue, kind of came late to the party, is an Ennio Morricone soundtrack, of course. And this is with the absolutely great Franco Nero. He's an Italian superstar, really, in Italy and famous pretty much throughout Europe. Never really made it here in the U.S. phenomenal reissue of the soundtrack to Il Bandito dagli occhi azzurri, which basically means, obviously Franco Nero, as you can see, or maybe you can't, I don't know, you probably can. He has blue eyes, and so this is the soundtrack to the film, loosely translated into English, The Bandit with Blue Eyes. Absolutely killer, jazzy, exotic, 70s lounge, classic vintage Ennio Morricone stuff that I highly recommend you get. And of course, as a bonus, it comes on lovely blue vinyl. And it sounds fantastic. I don't know what they sourced this from. My guess is probably a digital file. But, again, I am agnostic to that. Would I like to have it been reissued on premium AAA all analog? Sure. Does this sound amazing? It does. So, check this out. Absolutely fantastic soundtrack. Last but not least, on the record side, so Baraka P-Dub, Paul, you can find him on the VC channel, his VC channel. He's one of the longtime VC kings. I think he was like one of the first, or the first, that I started watching probably 5-6 years ago, right when he came out with his channel. So we were exchanging some text messages, and he's like, oh man, I've got a record for you that I think you're going to absolutely love. And what is it? It is the music of David Lynch, to David Lynch, done by just about anyone you can think of. Duran Duran is on here. Moby is on here. We have, who else do we have on here? Gosh, Zoe and, Zola Jesus, David Lynch, of course, Flaming Lips. There's a great cut on here. So Jim James, yeah, that's what I was looking for. The Jim James cut is phenomenal. So this is side B, cut 3. Live, let me tell you. So when I was talking to Paul, he was like, dude, you got to listen to this. I bet it's going to be killer on the Wilsons. And sure enough, I picked this up long out of print, or long. It's out of print. But it is such an awesome record. If you can find it, get it. You're not going to regret it. It's absolutely stunning and must have for any vinyl collector and anyone who cares about David Lynch and his movies and TV series, like the soundtrack to the soundtrack that Angelo Badalamenti made for Pike. What is the soundtrack? Pike's Peak? Help! Lifeline.
I don't know.
Not Dante's Peak. Gosh, I'm so stupid today. I can't even think of the name of the darn thing. I should have made notes. I didn't. Sorry, guys. Pike's Peak. No. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Anyway, sorry. I'm not going to edit this out. You're going to see it. You're going to get a kick out of it. It's Sunday. What can I say? I didn't have enough coffee. Speaking of coffee, hang on just a second. For all my European viewers, my lovely Julius Minor cup, and there's Porter saying hello to everyone. Cheers, and here's a cup of coffee. Gosh, this is so good. But wait, there's more. Haha, I knew it. So, because my CD reviews and announcements from a couple of weeks ago were so amazingly well received, I figured, why not just include all the CDs that I've gotten over the last couple of months and kind of pick through them one by one? Because again, CDs can sound absolutely phenomenal. SACDs can sound better. It comes down to mastering. It comes down to the digital chain that was used, etc., etc., etc. But for now, let's take a look. We've got Nat King Cole, an Analog Productions SACD. If you don't have a record player, you can most definitely get this SACD. So this was all done from the 3-track masters that Chad got for this entire Nat King Cole reissue project that he did a couple of years ago. I believe it's still in print on vinyl, but definitely pick up the SACD and CD. I mean, this is, the very thought of you. It's Nat King Cole at his best, right? Literally, you play this, man, it's so smooth and sweet and just analog and awesome. Absolutely awesome. Did I say analog on a CD? I did. What the heck? Next up, this is phenomenal. Ryuichi Sakamoto, The Last Emperor soundtrack. Love the movie. If you haven't seen a good movie in a while, check this out. It's such a great story. The Last Emperor of Japan, obviously. And David Byrne film. And Ryuichi Sakamoto did the soundtrack. Obviously, very much Japanese theme inspired, but phenomenal sounding. Is it reference quality? Probably not. It has, at times, it can sound a little peaky on the high end with some of the strings and stuff. But, you listen past it. It's a fabulous release, I should say. I think this came out, Friday Music did a reissue on vinyl. No idea what it sounds like. I picked this up for $2 on eBay. And I put a new sleeve on it, or a new plastic case on it. And there you go. Absolutely great music. Phenomenal film. Check it out. On the subject of CDs can't possibly sound any good because they're digital and vinyl sounds better and all this stuff. Right. Except for when you find CDs that actually do sound amazing, which of course is the soundtrack to Glengarry, Glen Ross. This is phenomenal stuff. All jazz themes. And I remember when I was leading a sales team many years ago, the guys on my team, once a week, it was almost mandatory. There were 3 films we would watch, or it was kind of homework. I was mentoring them and so on and so forth. Glengarry, Glen Ross, Wall Street, and The Wolf of Wall Street, right? And I tell you, epic salesmanship, epic salesman film, classic, phenomenal soundtrack. Check it out. You can get this cheap on eBay. Again, I think I paid $5-6 for it. Absolutely phenomenal. Such a great film, and it's just a fantastic soundtrack. So pick this up. Awesome stuff. Next up, another sort of CDs can't possibly sound any good, except for when they do. This is Clark Terry, Oscar Peterson, The Alternate Blues. So Chad Analog Productions did the record on this. And it sold out pretty quickly, if I recall. This came out maybe about 10-15 years ago. Don't quote me on it, but somewhere around there. Unobtainium today. The 45 RPM is in the $200-$400 neighborhood. The 33 RPM is in the sort of $100 neighborhood, if you can find it. It rarely goes on sale. But if you can't have the LP, or you don't have a record player, find the CD. It sounds amazing. It gives you a complete idea of what this album is all about. The sound quality is phenomenal. Great music. Playmanship, showmanship. So check this out. This was an OJC CD that came out, I don't know, probably 20-30 years ago maybe. 07 The Garden. 07, I love 07. They are a British band. They kind of go in and out of not electronic, more like contemporary, avant-garde, pop, electronic music. This was their, I believe, last album that came out quite a while ago, 10 years ago maybe, 2007, 8, somewhere around there. Phenomenal sounding. All of their records are phenomenal sounding, incredibly well produced, incredibly well recorded. And this CD is no different. Pick this up. Phenomenal music. If you have, of course, Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, Qobuz, etc., they're all on there, so you can check them out there as well. Last but not least, I leave the big one for the final. And that is, of course, the brand new Analog Productions, Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon, SACD and CD reissue that just came out 2 weeks ago. I just received this 2 weeks ago. It is the single best reissue. So this was done with Pink Floyd, obviously, and James Guthrie. and it comes with a little booklet. Great, great sort of insights, a couple of pictures and stuff, the usual fanfare of, who's who, what, etc. And let me tell you, so I have the MoFi LP from, their first MoFi batch back in the 80s. I have the reissue that came out in 2003 on vinyl. I have the SACD that came out at the time. And this, I don't know what Chad did and what the team that reissued it did, but by far the best sounding version of Dark Side of the Moon. And let me tell you, it's just absolutely fantastic. What a recording. Of course, it's incredible. Even the standard CD layer is phenomenal. So if you haven't already, check this out. If you're into Pink Floyd, I highly recommend it. You will not regret it. This is going to be one of those definitive reissues. It spanks the thing that they did in 2003. Like I said, I don't know what they did, how they did it, but they managed to completely overrun that release. So this is now the go-to master reference. And of course, what everyone is waiting for, what we're all waiting for, is for Chad to do the UHQR 45 RPM of Dark Side of the Moon. Will that ever happen? Who knows? It might. I don't know. I don't have any insights, but we'll see what comes. We'll see what comes tomorrow. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, everyone. We will check you soon. Cheers.